Hello everyone, thank you very much for the chance. I would like to present my presentation about types of research. So there are many types of research, not just in education, but also in psychology, social science, and any others. But in this occasion, I would like to convey the types of research in education. So there are two helpful ways to view research. The first is method and the second is purpose. So I would like to classifying the types of research by method, and I will also classify the types of research as the purpose. So for the method is the comprise the overall strategy followed in collecting and analyzing the data. So method is very useful in collecting and analyzing the data. And for the purpose, it is related to applicability of the research to educational practice and settings. So for the purpose, when we want to do the research in education, so the purpose of the research in education is applicability in educational practice and settings. So there are classification types of research by method. The first is quantitative and then qualitative. So the purpose of quantitative research approach are applied to describe current condition, investigate relation, and study cause-effect phenomena. So at least there are three purposes of quantitative research approach. That is, describe the current condition, investigate relation, and study cause-effect phenomena. Then for the purpose of the qualitative research approach seeks to probe deeply into the research setting, obtain in-depth understanding about the way things are, why they are that way, and how participants in the context perceive them. And next, the characteristic of quantitative and qualitative research. So, quantitative use numerical data in the data collection, and the qualitative one use non-numerical and narrative visual data. And research problem use hypothesis and research procedures state before the beginning of the study. And for the qualitative, research problem and method evolve as understanding of topics depends. Then quantitative research can manipulate the data, while the qualitative one cannot manipulate the data or manipulate the context. Then the sample of the size or the size sample is large, and qualitative one, the sample size is smaller. Then the research procedures relies on statistical procedures, while qualitative one relies on categorizing and organizing data into pattern to produce a descriptive and narrative synthesis. Then participant interaction in quantitative is a little interaction, while in qualitative there are extensive interaction, so you need more interaction with the sample or population. Then underlying the belief, we live in a stable, predictable world that we can measure, understand, and generalize about. And for the qualitative, meaning is situated in a particular perspective or context that is different for people group. Therefore, the world has many meanings. And next to the 5 basics design of quantitative research design. The first is survey research. Survey research determine and report the way things are. So it involves collecting numerical data to collect the test hypothesis to answer question about the current status of the object of the study. One common type of survey research involves assessing the preferences, attitudes, practice, concern, or interest of a group of people. So the example of this research is how do second grade teachers spend their teaching time? So in this, second grade teachers are asked to fill the questionnaire and the result about how they are present in the teaching. Then correlational research. Correlational research is involved collecting data to determine whether and to what degree a relation exists between two or more quantifiable variables. And for example, what is the relation between intelligence and self-esteem? So we have to find out the correlation between the intelligence and the self-esteem itself. And another examples, does an algebra aptitude test predict success in algebra course? So there are two variables that we have to, if it is correlation or not each other. Next, causal comparative research attempts to determine the cause or reason for existing difference in the behavior or status of group individual. So for the example for this research is, how does preschool attendance after social maturity and the end of the first grade? Then experimental research. Experimental research, at least one independent variable is manipulated, then other relevant variables are controlled, and the effect on one or more dependent variable is observed. So, for example, is personalized instruction from a teacher more effective for increasing student computational skill than computer instruction? So we compare the function of the instruction of the teacher than computer instruction. So which is suitable or which is helpful, which one is very helpful to help the students. And then single subject research used to study the behavior change that an individual or group exhibit as a result of some intervention or treatment. So the example of this research is the effect of a training program with and without reinforced directed rehearsal as a correlation produced in teaching expressive sign language to non-verbal students with mental retardation. Then we move to qualitative research. There are three basic design. The first one is narrative research, the study of how different humans experience the world around them. It involves a methodology that allows people to tell the stories of their life or storied lives. And then ethnographic research, the study of the cultural pattern and perspective of participants in their natural settings. For example, is what is the Hispanic students' culture in an urban community college? So this we have to do the research about Hispanic students' culture in the community college. And then case study research. Case study research is a qualitative research brought to conducting research on a unit of study or bounded system. Then we move to the classification types of research by purpose. At least there are 5 types of research by purpose. The first one is basic research, second one applied research, the third one is evaluation research, and the fourth one is research and development, and the fifth one is action research. So in basic research is conducted for the purpose of developing or refining a theory. So when we want to create a theory or we want to test or try out the theory, basic research is the research that you can do. This is an example related to learning theory. For example, Piaget theory that tells about the child development or how the child develop, and then constructivism related to logical thinking and critical thinking. mastery learning, and garner multiple intelligences. Next, to applied research. Applied research is conducted for the purpose of applying or testing a theory to determine its usefulness in solving practical problems. So when you find out a theory that can help the students, so you can do it as applied research. So for example, using a problem solving approach to increase students' comprehension. So you find the problem solving approach, and then you can increase the students' comprehension. If it is can increase the student comprehension or not, using or through the problem solving approach. And then examining the effectiveness of computer-based learning to mastery learning. So is the computer can help the students mastery the learning or not? So, and accommodating varied learning styles when teaching lesson. So the teacher can use varied learning styles. Also the students also use varied learning style, and the teacher have to use methods which is suitable with the varied learning style itself. And then evaluation research, the systematic process of collating and analyzing data about the quality, effectiveness, merit or value program, products or practice. Merit related to a program accomplishing what it was supposed to accomplish, and worth is related to the value attached to a program by those using it. There are two types of evaluation: formative evaluation and summative evaluation. Then research and development, the process of researching consumer needs and then developing the product to fulfill those needs. So in education we have several needs like tools, method, lesson plan, and any other. So we have to fulfill it to create the product and to fulfill the needs itself. For example, the development of the software to create advanced speaking program. So when you want to develop the speaking program, you can create a software, or you can create e-learning, or you can create the lesson plan to help the students get advanced speaking. Then action research, any systematic inquiry conducted by teacher, principal, school, counselor, or other stakeholder in the teaching learning environment to gather information about the ways in which their particular school operate, the teacher teach, and the students learn. The example, how can disciplinary policies can be enforced consistently in our school? So there are many students who comes late at school, and the counselor, the stakeholder want to apply the disciplinary policies in the school. So action research is the suitable research that you can do. Okay, that's all about my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.